This is a personal story of organic divinity, and its intention is pure, for I want to share it because it's important for people to hear and understand that when one is trying to raise and maintain their beautiful divine conscious spirituality, their God force energy, their Christ consciousness, their level of consciousness to be one with the universe, however you may choose to place that, it is through this organic divinity that we have this commonality that we should come together while maintaining our own individuation. We can come together as a collective and recognize the power of what we have when we come together. It's already in existence. It's already humanity, mankind, womankind, every kind has already benefited from this collection, this collective of people who are working at raising and maintaining their vibe. I call it, and I'm beginning to call it, is what I should say up front, is this God force energy. It's taken me a while to work my way to this moment in time. And this story I share with you is very recent, and it involved a couple of people who I know are really nice people, and not just nice people, and I have recorded this before, is that what we all need to understand is that this vast world is loaded with wonderful people. But what we need to understand is, and this is the lesson taught to me as clear as day yesterday evening and this morning. The organic divinity came through this morning. The lesson was in the lab, if you will, which was at a place of business. And it was this individual who lost their you-know-what and made this declaration in front of other customers. And let me just say that it was rather the customer had, at least the one that I was with, actually was pretty on point with the terms that she used. And I won't repeat it here, but the point is that as I looked backwards and I saw just what took place, it involved something so petty that these people responded. I made the original faux pas. I did not ask or even declare to anybody that I needed to blow this candle out because it was causing my throat to close up. And many of you know what a lot of candles can do to yourself or to other people, and especially one particular popular brand. It is so heavily loaded that after a while, it hurts to breathe. And that was my mistake. I just blew it out. And then as someone lit it back up. And so I went to the individual that I was pretty sure was the one who had, and I just leaned in. It was in her little room. It was away from everybody else. Nobody was within earshot. And I went in and I said, hey, I blew that candle back out. I blew it out before because it was closing me up. Somebody relit it. And I just turned around and left. And I believe she said something. I think she said it was me. I didn't respond, and maybe that was another faux pas of mine. And before I knew it, and here is this clear cut way that there is one individual that many, many people speak of, they fear, and many people may actually praise, but there's only one individual that could cause women of these beautiful women who are no different than me, that they would throw their lives in front of another person. They would do whatever they can to help an individual. These are kind, loving, wonderful people. But what did they do? Because it was clear that they had a little conclave about that candle that I blew out and blew out twice. Because the next thing I saw, not in the moment, but what I realized was they had gone around and lit a number of candles throughout the salon. And when I blew out the last one that was lit, I should have recognized that I was set up, because that's when the individual lost her you-know-what and took me to task because I blew out that candle too. And she came out of this personality came out of her that really was very childish, that she actually took me to task for blowing the candle out without asking her permission, because I was basically touching her stuff, and it blew me away. I responded accordingly, like, fine, yeah, okay. Like, her response was so harsh and ridiculous that I didn't need to respond, except for, yeah, got it. And then when the other individual came through, I followed them and said, please accept my apology for touching your candle and blowing it out without your permission. I will never touch your stuff again. And that was the crux of it. And it was that devil. Now, my big question is, how in the world could these two people, as I spoke to the owner and I got the full complex, I was able to explain what happened, how it went down, for her to see just how ridiculous and petty that was. All of it. And she defended these women, of course. And of course, she didn't need to. And I said, I agree. You know, everything this individual says is, I know to be true. And I'm human, and I learn from my mistakes. And as I contemplated and started to put this all to rest, it dawned on me that there's only one individual who could make two women who I know are lovely people, that someone could make them act in the way that they did, after me telling them, basically, right, that it's closing my throat up, that I spoke from a point of health, that they proceeded to go light other candles around the salon. And that last one, she was leaving for the day. She didn't need that candle lit. She set that up. And that's how they work. They chose, that one individual knows how things work. They know who to tap through and tap into to do the dirty work. And that's exactly what they did. And that's who lit that candle, even though they were getting ready to walk out the door. Because they needed to set me up so she could slice me down. And if I use harsh words to describe the feelings that came from me, what the energy was that I recognized within myself, that I put a term to or a word to, that is exactly what went down. And I am grateful for the conversation with this beautiful woman who we are on a very same path when it comes to our own Christ consciousness, that we know now who that was driving that bus to be so ridiculous, full-grown people, to be so ridiculous that they could be that ridiculous. That is the organic divinity. The lessons that I'm learning, right? This is a place of business, and you know, we are all human and we all make mistakes, and it's soothing. It's a calming salve for me personally, who was at the brunt. The focus was to take me down. And I remember, and I said this to someone, I remember leaving yesterday when I drove home, and I remember that I felt empowered. I didn't get in my car and think, oh my God, here I go again. Or I didn't play negative Sally. I didn't do the divine self in me. Instead of the ego self drove me home because I knew that I was okay. And I didn't even know the full breadth of what had gone down. And that is what the organic divinity is. When you understand how this divine universe works, and how positive energy and how negative energy works. God force energy is the energy of raising your vibe and maintaining it. And that is what got me through. I've prayed for several weeks leading up to that yesterday evening. I've been praying because I knew that Jesus Christ himself aligned me to be there and to be of assistance to the beautiful soul that owns that place. And that is the testament of organic divinity. And I thank you if you have hung on and have heard this entire story. Organic divinity is living your life every day. And it's as you live that life, the organic part of who you are, this physical nature of who you are, this and the metaphysical nature, and that is what happened yesterday. Okay, that negative energy, the opposite of God force energy is this negative entity that I refuse to say and name. I don't need to, you know what I'm speaking of, that dark energy. It finds its way through to the people who are the most negative, who talk negative, who talk poorly about people, and who use horrible language. They use cuss words as if it's candy because their heart, mind, and soul is somewhere out of alignment. And it happens to all of us. I am aligning my heart, mind, and soul because we've only been told and trained to align our body, our mind, and our spirit. Our heart, mind, soul, and spirit is the alignment to expand your divine conscious spirituality. My divine conscious spirituality is this Christ consciousness that through him, and as I work at being the same beautiful, kind, and compassionate and full of love individual that Jesus is, that Jesus was, that continues to be, that spirited aspect of Jesus, then I'm doing good. And that's who my divine is. Tell me who your divine is. And together, although we stay individual, we can raise that beautiful God force energy throughout the universe and expand our divine conscious spirituality into this universal divine conscious spirituality. Thank you.